Everybody, welcome to Intertwine Healing Therapy. Again, welcome back to those who have been with me since day one and also from my old office. But I'm actually letting you guys know that the reason why I haven't been on is because I've been going through major transitions in life. A lot of the things have changed over time. I'm no longer with Purple Light Home. But they're doing their own thing still, which is good. And also I'm here in my new office. So I'm actually located now in Martinez. So in California, if you guys don't know where that is, it's like really close by to the San Francisco Bay Area. It's like 30 to 45 minutes away from there. And then also I'm still taking care of the same clients that I've been taking care of for a while. I still do spiritual work. I still do Reiki healing under teachings of Elena and also brand new coaches with Spiritual Activator, which is Oliver Nino. I've been working with Elena, obviously, from the spiritual journey from within of loving yourself, which is really awesome. So it's been a really good journey. And then also on top of that, I've been working with a lot of recovery coaches, particularly with narcissistic recovery coaches. So, which is a really good thing because I was able to understand my own traumas and things that I've gone through when it comes to narcissism. So I didn't know what that meant until I went through such a traumatic event recently, and also in the past, pretty much my whole life. I didn't know what that meant, and I didn't realize it took over some of my good chunk of my adulthood life and my childhood life, and I didn't even realize it. So I didn't know what to do. I was so lost into that. There was a lot of times that I was sad about it, and there was a lot of times where I even blamed myself. I started questioning myself, lost my sense of self because of some of the things that was said and realities being questioned into my mind, and it's like it wasn't a good feeling. So I did not like that one bit. So I had to definitely get some help. And once I'm able to understand what took place, I ended up realizing that all of these things happened because I wanted to, like, all of a sudden I became also a narcissistic recovery coach myself. So because I've been surrounded with narcissism and narcissistic people since I was a little girl, like, I didn't realize I've had it around my family members, friendships, even with my ex-boyfriends and such. I didn't know I was surrounded by it. I didn't know it was so attracted to me because of my empathic energies. And every time I kept blaming myself, my coaches were like literally telling me that it really wasn't my fault. It really isn't you. It's just because of the energy that you have, which is so empathic. It's very gravitating for a lot of narcissistic people to really take advantage of it, because that they're kind of energy vampire suckers. So they try to do that because they just love that energy. I didn't know what that meant. So I became a narcissistic recovery coach very recently. I just finished up all of the programs and modules for that, and I couldn't be any prouder because there's so many clients that's coming through my office who actually needs that help. And I didn't realize I was going to help those type of people. And I didn't realize narcissism was actually even taking place in a twin flame relationship. I had no idea, and it was starting to come into light. So despite of what happened in the past, I would talk about it here, but to be honest with you, I'd really rather not. I really just talk about that with my coaches and with the professional people. So, and I really do keep things very professional in my field. So I kind of know how to place that boundary now, where it's like, as much as I love to have the world as all my friends, but at the same time, it's like, I also want them to heal in the most independent way as well too. So I give them that room and that space of respect. So time to time, you guys are probably going to hear some train backgrounds because I am located by the marina, where also there's like an Amtrak train next to me, which is fine, because every time, for some reason, it always works out. Every time when I'm doing Reiki healing or when I'm doing healing with a client, I don't end up hearing any of the trains coming. So it kind of really works out for me very well. So about the journey that I went through, how I started in Martinez, well, a lot of things took place. Like I said, I'd rather not talk about it on a video because there's just nothing for me to really talk about except with my healers. I keep it within my healers. I don't talk about that with anybody else. I don't even talk about that with my family members. I don't talk about that with my friends. So I'm definitely not going to talk about that here because I actually respect that. So that is between me and whatever took place in life. So I talk about that with my healers. So I did meet 3 different healers. The first one was Dr. Ramani Durvasula. I ended up reading her book. It's called It's Not You. So it's going to be right over here. If you guys have never read it, It's Not You. If you're going through narcissistic abuse and you need to recover, this is the book to actually really read. It's very much detailed and it's very healing. It's very eye-opening. So definitely that's somebody that I really encountered with and talked to, and it was really eye-opening, and really gives me a place of healthy boundaries with myself and also healthy boundaries with other people whenever there's like a vampire energy that's taking place. I read that book. And also another coach that I ended up meeting was Oliver Nino. I actually took his empath energy 3-day classes, which was really helpful. I was able to learn, appropriate clearing blocks. I didn't even know that I was an embodier empath. I didn't even realize that there was a lot of traumas that was like placed in me energy-wise. Like there was the first one was childhood wounds, second one was environmental, the third one was gestational. Who would have heard that? Literally, trauma was already building when I was in my mother's womb. I didn't even know that was a thing. And then also there was generational. So obviously when you're coming out of the womb, the energy kind of collided and then you kind of passed it towards your children. So that took place, and I finally understood that when I took Oliver's coaching class. And then also Oliver was able to explain that to me, and I was really glad that I signed up for that class. So, it was a 3-day event when I was going through the most painful times the last 2 months, actually just 2 months ago. I didn't really go through that much pain after June. I was able to finally clear it off because thank you to Oliver and thank you to Elena, who is my Indigenous healer, who is my Reiki healer, my Indigenous healer, who's been helping me process the pain and also removing it at the same time has been really helpful. I love that fact that she was able to submerge me into that deep healing. She's been doing it for, I think 10 plus years or maybe even close to 20 years. So she knows and understands energy blockages, and she knows how to release that too. And she knows core removals and all that good stuff. So she was able to remove that for me, so which is a really good thing. And also the best part is my healers that I'm, being molded into now to become a better healer myself, has been teaching me different healing modalities, different ways of approach of people, and different ways of, still staying into that professionalism at the same time also, placing in a place of sacred love, light, healing, whatever it is that you guys want into the spiritual world and also into your healing space. So it definitely has helped me a lot. And also another thing is that ever since I started realizing more of what narcissism is, like overt, malignant, I was able to put that into a modular myself and able to heal that. For surely it took some time, but I'm able to have the muster up to heal and then heal other people. So a lot of the times, empathic people are always going to attract narcissistic people. I don't know why that is. I think it's because, again, it's not I don't know. It's more like what my coach says. The reason why narcissistic people are getting really attached to empathic people because of the fact that their energy is just so strong and it's just so gravitating that they get depleted too. We get tired because we're always like pleasing, we're always like healing, we're always like, reassuring everybody's okay. We're always a sacrificial lamb, but then they're kind of like, just stuck in their ways, very self-absorbent, very self-centered, very arrogant, very entitled. And it's like, they don't have that empathic energy. They can come off as empath, which is the funniest part is that narcissistic people can pretend to be empath. They know how to do that, but it's not genuine, which is unfortunate. They just know how to act. So people ask me, I've had a lot of questions. They're like, how does a person become narcissistic? Well, the way a narcissistic personality disorder forms is because of their traumas in their childhood, whether that could be neglect, severe neglect. Luckily for me, if I had severe neglect with my mom, I would probably become a narcissist myself. But luckily, I was able to have a balance of love with my godmother. So I was not fully neglected as a child, so which is a good thing. That could also be one thing. Another thing also how people can form narcissistic personality disorder is the overpraising, overspoiling. So that could happen if you have been, let's just say, let's just say you were always the most favorite one in the family. Like you had a narcissistic parent, and your parent would be like overpraising you, like, oh, you are doing so good, and the other person's not, overpraising you, saying that, oh, you're so loved, you're so adored. This can happen to a lot of celebrities as well too. So celebrities or elites that's had money their whole entire lives and that came from money, narcissistic personality disorder can start forming as well too. So that's another form of narcissism can take place. So there's that grandiose, that self-absorbance. So that could happen, that entitlement. For people who were neglected, that could form as well, because there's that entitlement. There's also that grandiosity. There's that insecure where they have to place in the good things, like, the good things all the time. And apologies are kind of like swept under the rug. They're kind of like, their apologies is not like, oh, I'm really sorry that I hurt you or I did this. It's more of sounding like, well, I'm sorry that you feel that way. It's like seriously gaslighting. So if you've ever felt that way, like somebody apologized to you, say, I'm sorry that you felt that way, that I understand, but you also have to understand, like, if there's so much explanations and paragraphs, then the chances are that you're getting gaslighted. So you're probably dealing with a narcissistic person. So definitely something that I would really look out for. Another thing to look out for when it comes to like narcissistic people is the fact that if they start, having you come over or starting to spend more time with you and you're not spending enough time with your family or close people. Like if they're hogging your time and knowing that you're super tired or you're just kind of like, I want to be alone. And sometimes that's okay too. People want to be alone. People don't want to be around with people. There's nothing wrong with that. Narcissistic people don't like being alone. They don't like being alone. And I just realized that. I didn't know that was a thing because my mother would always be like, I always have to have somebody. Or I've had family members that would be like, or even friends that would be like, they always want to hang out with me or they always want to be with me. And I'm just kind of like, for me, who's an empath, I absorb a lot of energy and I don't want to be around people all the time. And it's like, it's nothing because I don't want to be around people or heal them. No, I love doing what I do, but I just don't want to be doing that 12-hour, 16-hour days after everything that I do, encountering so much work and energy. I have to encounter more to absorb. It's like, it's too much. I'm trying to observe, but I'm also empathic. I can't help that. And I'm absorbing so much and it's like very tiring. I didn't know that, narcissistic people don't like to be alone. They really don't. They always want to take up your time. And then they always end up gaslighting you, like making subtle jokes like, oh, you're just being lazy. This is the reason why you don't want to hang out. Or you just don't want to do anything, because they'll start giving you this guilt trip. Like, oh, you don't want to. And it's kind of like really exhausting to explain yourself. Like, dude, I don't want to kick it with you because I'm so tired of X, Y, and Z. Like, you don't have to explain yourself as to why you're tired. It's like, if you don't want to go, just respect it. Like, you don't have to go. Then you have to respect that for yourself. So I finally was able to place healthy boundaries now. So I finally learned to kind of weed out like who's true and near to me and who is the one that really supports to my decision. So, and also another thing a narcissist doesn't like to hear is the word no. So when you start saying no, or no, I don't want to do it, or no, I don't feel like doing it, oh, they're gonna flip out. And they don't like taking criticism either. So, and it's constructive criticism, okay? So there's like bad criticism and like constructive criticism. So constructive is more of like, for example, I'm a teacher myself and also I'm a healer. I do take what my student critiques me on because it means that they're really listening to me. They're really understanding exactly what I'm teaching them and they're bringing that back to me. Like, for example, if there was some things that I made a mistake on and I forgot my own lessons and my own teachings, my students will remind me, hey, this is what you said before. Isn't that correct? For me as an empath, I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. I did say that. But if you were to tell that to a narcissist and you were to like critique them, and it's not even a bad critique, you would tell them like, hey, didn't you say this? Didn't you say that? This is what they're gonna rebuttal. I never said that. I never said this. I never said that. That's what you're gonna hear. And you're gonna be like, wait a second. So rather than just staying silent and just letting them be, you have to be able to be sharp to respond and say, okay, I'm like, you didn't say that, but can you please tell me what you said then? Clarify that to me. So when that happens, and if they're really knowing the answer, they're quick to do it. But if they're slow to do it, I know for a fact you're lying. So that can happen if you are encountering a narcissist. So I don't want to take up too much time because this is some of the things that I do learn, and I just wanted to kind of like embrace that with you guys, of the journeys that I've been through, that yes, I was in a narcissistic abuse relationship. Yes, I am a survivor. I've healed from it, which is, I'm really glad. The people who have hurt me along the way, I've forgiven them. And whatever took place in my life, no, I will not talk about that in public or nor to anybody, but just with my healers. But if there was a close knit that you guys really do want to ask, you guys can ask me in the source wise, but I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm not here to talk bad about anybody because, you know, I'm in my own circle now. I'm in my own little bubble here of healing, and I've had beautiful clients and beautiful people that comes in, and they really love my, you know, healing modalities that I have given them. I actually do a lot of shamanic healing now because my healer Elena has taught me how to do that, and I was very, very excited to learn from her. You know, how to connect with your inner childhood wounds and to connect with your highest self. It's like, it was a beautiful experience. So, you know, I've actually had a lot of teachings from different coaches on how to remove cords, how to do shamanic healings, how to do sound bath healings, I've taken up a lot of learning and education, and also healing myself, because I realized that if I don't love myself enough and I'm not giving myself enough, I'm not going to be able to give the love that everybody else deserves. So that's particularly the reason why I went through in my own journey this time with different healers, and I'm very open for it. Like, I'm really happy that I've met Oliver. I'm happy that I've met Elena. I'm happy that I've met Dr. Ramani to understand everything that took place in my life and to finally really embrace it and understand it and have a different way of approaching when it comes to healing techniques and healing other people, and really embracing to accept everybody. Like, not everybody's going to be the same or have the same beliefs as I do or what I do. I'm like, it is what it is. You know, I'm not going to knock you to that. But also at the same time, as a healer, I take accountability of what I do. So if there's some things that I missed out or I skipped out on and my students points that out to me, it's open wholeheartedly to accept, to hear them out. I'm not going to oppose that. I'm not going to just dismiss them. I'm going to be like, you know what, point made. I'm like, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for, you know, for taking everything that I taught you into light and with heart, and you were able to remind me of that. You know, instead of looking at it as an attack or as a critique, it shouldn't have to feel like an attack or a critique. It's not, because if you're a teacher, you're supposed to be able to hear out your students as well. So dismissing them, discarding them is like not in my book of ethics at all when it comes to my healing modalities and what I do in the place of sacred place that I'm in right now. So it's a beautiful place in downtown. It's very historic, and I met wonderful healers as well. Next door to me is actually a life coach, spiritual coach. Her name is Elena. She's awesome. I love her. So check her out at Owl Holistic or Owl Love, I believe. That's her business name. You guys can check her out. She takes care of couples. She takes care of, you know, different holistic modalities. She doesn't do Reiki, but she does do guided meditations and other holistic parts of the body, like to take care of yourself. So, and she does sexual healing, so which is really good. So I would really recommend to go check her out. But also in the meantime, if you want to come to me, you can go ahead and visit my website at www.intertwinehealingandtherapy.com. You can check me out here in Martinez, downtown, this historic place. I'm literally close by to the water. It's very beautiful. I do Reiki healing, sound bath healing. I'm actually a past life regression therapist as well too. I'm certified in that, so I'm very excited about doing that work. I'm also a twin flame coach. So those who are going through twin flames, soulmates, or just relationship in general, going through that pain, doesn't understand how to keep it balanced and healthy, you're more than welcome to book an appointment with me on that. And also, I'm a narcissistic recovery coach because I've been through that, so I understand it, but it's very painful to go through that, and I know how to go through that healing process as well. So you can check that out on my website. It's very much available to you to book. And we also have the family balancing program also, and the personal healing coaching program. So everything in my healing modalities has been revamped by me, by Intertwine Healing. Everything that I have done as far as my healing modality goes has been offered by none other than Oliver Nino, also Elena, and other healers that I have incorporated myself in my healing journey. So I am very excited to reinvent myself. I'm very excited to go through this new journey with you guys, and hopefully that you guys will, not even hopefully, I'm pretty sure you guys are going to see me more often here on YouTube. So I'll keep you guys more posted on everything. So check me out on TikTok. You'll see some more things about narcissistic personality disorder, so you guys understand what it is. And also my spiritual work, you guys get to see that as well too. And also my other social medias when it comes to readings, I still do that as well. So it's still there on my website. So check it out. Don't miss out, and make sure to subscribe, okay? I love you guys so much. Sorry for taking this long to make this video, but I just wanted to just give you guys a heads up on where my journey is, okay? All right, see you guys in Martinez. Ciao, Bella. Bye.